Hello and welcome. So this is going to be a lore reading. We're going to see what we learned by clearing out most of the dead trenches. Alright, what do we got here? Archdemon. Let's see. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumont. Their taint twisted even the false god. Is that hyphenated? And the Whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world, the first blight. Theronides 8-7. The false dragon gods of Timur Imperium lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the Darkspawn in their relentless search for the sleeping old gods. Perhaps it is instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there is some remnant of desire for vengeance upon those who goaded the Magisters to assault heaven. Whatever the reason, when Darkspawn find one of these ancient dragons, it is immediately afflicted by the taint. It awakens twisted and corrupted, and leads the Darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of the land, a blight. Earthmiel was once the Timur god of beauty. In ancient times he was worshipped by musicians, artists, and poets. The feast of Earthmiel was the grandest celebration of the year, an event that lasted a full 12 days. The 12 days of Earthmiel? Plays and entire symphonies were written in his honor. Now he is a maddened husk of his former self, filled with nothing but a desire to destroy all life. How do they know that this is the... They aren't entirely clear exactly how they know that these particular ancient dragons are the old gods. I've never actually seen a good explanation of that. Alright, what do we have? Stellata Nagat. 913 Dragon. Why are dwarves using that? Timekeeping. Nice. Blight is building, though it is years from being named by the surface. But the memories know the signs. Why don't they warn the surface? I suppose maybe they've tried in the past and haven't been heeded. The Legion has lost Bonammer, though in truth it was lost to the living long ago. The spawn are moving freely and have numbers even the memories haven't seen. They will surge, release. We will fortify and follow. That is the way, and will always be so until we fall, and the surface wonders what has changed. From Chapter 49 of Stellata Nagat, The Stone Unheld, a commentary on the Roll of Years by Shaper Erden. 7-0 Storm. The wars continue in the depths, and the border tigers are lost. Orzammar fortifies and holds. But the lost ground is not regained and remains dead space where Darkspawn multiply. It was a surge, but the surface was not breached. There was no great archdemon behind them, no blight was declared, no rallying cry was given, the warden slumbered. Yeah, that is something which I've heard about, is that there can be occasional Darkspawn attacks, raids, which are not quite full on blights, but it happens rarely. After centuries of constant skirmishes, a trend becomes clear. The first line of defense, unacknowledged for centuries, weakens. From Chapter 40 of Stellata Nagat, The Stone Unheld, a commentary on the Roll of Years by Shaper Erden. 512 Exalted. The surface declares the fourth blight, a number that means nothing to the stone. In the depths, the events are inverted, our blight spanning the interim years, 7 generations of shifting lines in darkness. Our ancestors are the reason the surface kingdoms don't know a Darkspawn by sight. Why even their eldest have never heard an account firsthand. They believe the blights are defeated by a gathering of allies with singular focus. Eventually, they will be lost by attrition in the depths. depths. The spawn surges and releases. We fortify and follow, although doubts are raised. From Chapter 27 of Starlata Nagat, The Stone Unheld, a commentary on the Roll of Years by Shipper Erden. Yep, that is roughly my understanding, is that the dwarves fight the Darkspawn constantly, and the only reprieve is when an archdemon is found, and the Darkspawn then attack the surface. Let's see, what's this? Deadcast, friend, we have argued long, but I would propose a different direction. It is not unprecedented that one of our number should end up in the Legion of the Dead. The memories attest to some bewildering falls from grace. Only his choice to volunteer has propelled this beyond mere scandal. The question we must ask is, does this serve us? The Legion has always seemed a last hope for redemption. If a noble joins their number, by choice no less, this can only do good things for enrollment. And we sacrifice only one foolish member, the last of a troublesome house. His reforms are better shouted at the Darkspawn than in these halls. I say, let him go. This is the writ that was passed, Durius. I hope you can live with your decision, because you've lost to it now. From Assembly Minutes regarding the Legion of the Dead, Addendum Unknown. Dear Gilly, I know things have been difficult since the censure of our house. I had hoped to bear the cost of my actions alone, but if I had a full understanding of the consequences, I wouldn't have murdered above my caste in the first place. I did not abandon you lightly, but I knew of no other way to insulate you against my shame than by joining the Legion. It is a half measure that has earned me no right to seek your comfort, but please, I beg you for one moment of foolish optimism. There is talk of a new soldier, a noble. The things I have heard, I will not curse them by voicing them aloud, but it may be a path to respectability for my kin, for you. If there remains any official line open to our name, can you verify he is real, that House Perald is in good stead? A letter sent from Marius unsent. May this report find the proper eyes to affect future tactics. We found an enclave Darkspawn, possibly a breeding lair, but we could make no approach. There were far more spawn than anticipated, and I divided the squad to draw the main body of the horde away. I do not expect to survive, but I have made certain that most of my men will see another day. I am torn by this, as my petition will go unheard, and that may curse many more of the Legion that would die here. But I simply cannot abandon the men I have looked in the eye and called brother. Perhaps they will not thank me for this, believing themselves already dead, but where there is life, there is hope. I will not be the last to see their worth. From an unrecovered Legion of the Dead field report by Lord Durius Ferelden. Let's see. Before the Darkspawn, the stone held an empire, dozens of taigs, each cavern a shade of dwarven pride. Communities separated but united, they fell by degrees. Ruins crumbled into tombstones, a forgotten glory. But the stone is a living history, and absence can reveal more than constant scrutiny does. As the stone shifts, she chooses what remains buried and what must see the light. The Shapers must return, must walk the lost way, so the children of the stone can see what has been surrendered and what can be gained. This is the sacrifice of the Shaper, the lost way from the Shaper's life. Which ones I've... Right. The stone take this topsider as she would welcome her own. He was born to air and sky, but serves the deep road better than natives. Okay, I think I already read this one. Yes, There must always be another to take up arms against the darkness. That is the core of true family beyond kin, and the unifying link that will bring day to night and allow the fallen to rest. Restored inscription, Trialmont Family Blade. And that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Do new relevant things with YouTube's buttons, and have a nice day.